This afternoon, we are going to focus on expository writing. What is expository writing, or what is an expository essay? An expository essay is a type of essay that explains or provides information about something. How are expository essays organized? Expository essays are organized by using patterns. What are patterns? Patterns are words that we use to organize essays in language. There are about 7 patterns, and here are today we are going to look at expository writing. What is expository writing, or what is an expository essay? An expository essay is a type of essay that explains or provides information about something. How are expository essays organized? They are organized by using patterns. And in language, patterns are words that serve as a template for organizing an essay. Here are 7 types of patterns that we normally use for the BJC: cause, effect, solutions, similarities, differences, advantages, and disadvantages. When you are writing your essay, it is important for you to have 5 body paragraphs. The first paragraph should be your introduction. 3, your main body paragraphs that will be used to discuss your points presented in the introduction, and your conclusion. Let's look at the first paragraph within your essay, which is your introduction. An effective introduction should grab the reader's attention. It should also clearly state or clearly imply an organized structure for the paper. Remember those patterns that we talked about? Yes, you should elaborate on what you plan to discuss. It should also include support and relevant information that will lead into the main idea of your paper. And of course, for this type of essay, you must have a thesis statement. Now we will look at what a thesis statement is very soon. Here are a few things that you can go ahead and use within your essay, especially the introduction part of the essay, to grab the reader's attention. We call them hooks. An anecdote or scenario, a question, a quotation or dialogue, a brief history or overview, the 5 W's of a situation, the who, what, when, where, and why, an interesting fact, a description, your stand or your position. And I have this here because although we are looking at expository, you will find that when you get to the effective introduction of the persuasive essay, that is something you should also include. Or you can have a combination of anything from this list. The thesis statement. What is a thesis statement? A thesis statement for your essay is essentially a sentence that will summarize the main points you plan to discuss within your essay. For you, you will find that the thesis statement will be your guide in developing your essay. And as your teacher reads your essay, or as the examiner reads your essay, it will give them a roadmap as to how your essay is structured and the things that they should be looking for as they read along. Your thesis statement should state the main idea, and it should not be a question. It should be found within your introduction, and it will, of course, list the subtopics. Your topic would be, for us, our topic is causes of failure in examinations. The subtopics would be the causes, the 3 causes. So they would be the 3 subtopics. Let's look at an example thesis statement. Lack of understanding, lack of preparation, and lack of critical thinking are 3 common causes of failure on examinations. So lack of understanding is our first point, lack of preparation is our second point, and lack of critical thinking skills would be the third point that we will discuss within the essay. So when we go now to develop the essay, lack of critical thinking skills should not be the first body paragraph that we see. Okay, so it's very important that you use your thesis statement as a guide when you are developing your essay. Body paragraphs. What are body paragraphs? Body paragraphs are paragraphs that provide support and or explanation. Now, there are different parts to our body paragraphs, and we look at them. 1, our topic sentence. 2, supporting detail. And 3, concluding sentence. What is a topic sentence? A topic sentence is a sentence that sums up the main point or the main idea of each paragraph. Here is an example of a topic sentence. One cause of failure on examinations is lack of understanding. Your topic sentence does not have to be fancy. It can be as simple as this one here. Supporting details would be considered any information that explains, defines, or proves an idea, such as facts, quotes, explanations, etc. Here is one example of supporting detail. Now, facts are things that we research and can be proven. In a survey conducted in 2017 by the University of the Bahamas, more than 3,000 students said that they failed examinations mainly because they did not understand the questions in the examination booklet. This is an example of supporting detail. Here's another one. Elaboration, or the explanation of what it is that you're trying to prove. The misinterpretation of questions when taking an examination can heavily impact the final grade because the response given will not adhere to the requirements of the examiner. If the student misunderstands the question, his or her answers will be misguided. So this is just my personal view or my personal explanation of the point that I'm trying to make within this body paragraph. And that is something that we can consider as a supporting detail. Story or anecdotes are also things that we can use to prove our points in our essay. This is an example of a story or an anecdote. A few weeks ago, I took my language final exam, and the instructions stated to draft an expository essay. Because I know that draft means to write a plan, I simply wrote a plan for the essay. When I got my paper back, I got 5 out of a possible 20. I asked the teacher what I did wrong. She simply replied, "You're required to write an expository essay, not a plan." I then realized that I misunderstood the instructions and what I was being asked to do. So there are other supporting details that you can include in your essay, but we have just looked at 3 of them. Concluding sentence now. A concluding sentence is a sentence that sums up the paragraph, or it brings the paragraph to an end. This is my example. If students misunderstand the question being asked, their answers will be misguided by this misunderstanding and unfortunately result in their failure. Conclusion will always be the last part of your essay, your final paragraph. The conclusion sums up arguments presented within your entire essay. Here are your 5 top tips for expository writing. Tip 1, vary your sentences. There are 4 types of sentences that we focus on: for purpose, declarative, imperative, exclamatory, and interrogative. And there are 4 that we look at for length: simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. I do have a lesson available on the types of sentences, and it also provides examples. So you can go ahead and check out that lesson, Super Sentences, if you need an in-depth explanation. If you need an in-depth explanation of what sentences are and examples. Tip 2, use paragraphs. It's very important that you group your ideas into paragraphs. Tip 3, use transitions. What are transitions? Transitions are just words and phrases that link our ideas and concepts together. Here are 3 as a result, overall, and given these points. Tip 4, use synonyms. It's very important that you vary your words. For example, instead of saying said throughout the entire essay, you can say stated, reiterated, suggested, or informed. And tip 5, use one pattern. It is very easy to become confused or to underdevelop one of your ideas. So it is suggested that you focus on one pattern and develop those concepts. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you find this information helpful.